Okay, hello, and welcome back. This is going to be a read for North Node in Aries. Okay, we're gonna see how I can help you get through your day today. Okay, me and my spirit guys, my spirit team, my ancestors. We're gonna see how we can help you out through your day today. Okay, we're gonna start off with some divine time oracles. Okay, don't mind the noise. Okay, some of you guys could be born in March, for Aries. Okay, we got February coming out. So February could be significant for you. What else is here? Okay. Okay, we got keep going with the flow of life. Okay. So understand that, in February you could have been in a situation to whereas, you have could have been dealing with a situation to whereas you needed to just keep going with the flow of life, meaning, whatever was perspiring in your life, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, confirmation. You just let it, you just went with the flow of life. Okay. Get one more. Okay. We have create space for it to happen sooner. So obviously you could have, like I said, you could have been, dealing with a situation in February to whereas you felt like, something wasn't going right and you just needed something to help you to keep going with the flow of life. You know what I'm saying? So you had to obviously create some space in your life to whereas whatever you had going on could happen sooner for you. Okay. And then we got within a month. So within a month, you know what I'm saying? All that creating space and going with the flow of life is going to help you, get through life. Period, point blank. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Honey. Whatever. Don't want to stay up there, honey. Okay. Whatever. Whatever, honey. You don't want to stay, but we'll make it. Okay. Like I said, keep going with the flow of life, honey. Keep going. Okay. Boom. Fixed it. Just like that. Problem solved. Okay. We're going to start off with a little tarot. Let's see what's going on for February. Okay. You could have been in a position to whereas, you really found out who you were and you really found your power, your strength to actually, stick to your plan of, whatever you got going on. Okay. Now, what is this February for North Node in Aries? This February for North Node in Aries. Okay. 6 Cups. Okay, what else? Okay. We got the 3 of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Okay, so obviously, in February you could have been, thinking about some past memories or whatever, that could have been causing you some type of, heartbreak and pain, not knowing that, you could have been with a wealthy person that, obviously has a lot going on to whereas, they could have been in a position to whereas, they've been through some things as well in their past. And now, y'all could be, you or them could be in a position to whereas, now y'all just going with the flow of life. Okay. Because everybody's in a position to whereas, your past ain't got nothing to do with, your heartbreak and your pain that you are dealing with now with this person that you could be with. But just know that long as you keep going with the flow of life and doing what it is that you are required to do, all else is obsolete. Okay, what's the six of cups? Okay, so we got the Hermit in reverse. So obviously, you could have been in a position to whereas you still thinking about your past, and that's kind of putting you in a position to whereas it's making you look like you could be doing dark things or not living by the divine law. Okay, and with that being said, people deal with a lot of heartache and pain through their dark side. Okay, and your dark side has a lot to do with your past and what you done been through in your past. Okay, so with that being said, in order for you to get to this wealthy position in your life, you have to go through things in your life. You have to release it, talk about it, acknowledge your pain from your past, so that it don't look like you doing something dark. Okay, what's the Three of Swords? Okay, Three of Swords is Three of Wands in the reverse. So 33 could be significant. Okay, like I said, you being in some type of third wheel or whatever situation you got going on, understand that, honey, you need to release it, let it go, because it's not going to help you get to where you need to be financially. Okay, to get you into your wealthy position, honey, all that heartache and pain and extra stuff that could be going on in your situation, honey, you need to release it, let it go. Don't worry about it, because it's not going to help you get where you need to be, honey. And it's obviously not, you don't want to keep harboring heartache and pain, in your life, because it's going to stop you from getting your opportunities that you want in your life. Okay, so in order to get these opportunities and continue to have these opportunities, you have to release and let go of certain things that are causing you pain. Okay, what's this King of Pentacles? You get the drift. King of Pentacles. Okay, the Tower. So obviously you could be with a person that's very wealthy, and obviously they could have been in a position to whereas they wanted to make you feel like, okay, you needed to realize that, okay, you got people in your life or things going on in your life to whereas, honey, you need to let some of that stuff go and actually not focus too much on your dark side. Just keep focusing more on your higher self. Keep focusing on releasing that past, honey. Let it go, especially if it's not helping you get where you need to be, honey. You need to let it go so that you can get where you need to be, period, point blank, honey. And especially, like I'm saying, these ideas and opportunities that you have, honey, you got to continue to push forward, continue to do what you need to do to get these opportunities, honey. Whether they falsely accuse you of giving out false information, honey, no, you know the truth, so you know that you have ideas and opportunities to whereas you can help people out or whatever, help people in a situation to whereas if they are wanting to give up, honey, you can help them not give up. Okay, period, point blank. Okay, let's keep going with the flow of life for North Node and Aries. Okay, so obviously we got the Nine of Wands with the Page of Swords. So obviously you could be in a position to whereas being stressed out is obviously why you could be in a position to whereas now you are speaking up about it, about keep going with the flow of life, just doing what it is that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? If that does mean being stressed out sometimes, okay? But understand that you know the truth about your situation and who you with and who you are and all that good stuff. 10-10 on the timer. So you already know that your cycles have been completed. Okay? What's a nine of wands is the 7 of cups with the king of wands. So obviously, you being stressed out about somebody that has a lot of options and a lot of, options to do certain things, create certain things to, help you create things to help you, get through life to whereas you can, stand up for yourself and speak your truth and do whatever it is that you need to do, and so that you don't, be stressed out. Okay, period, point blank. What's this page of swords? Okay, this page of swords is obviously, some type of betrayal, and obviously you could be speaking about some type of betrayal, that could have perspired, with someone in your life, and now you have, multiple options and multiple ways of, doing what it is that you love to do, so there's no need for, people to be, talking about you because, obviously you're not the one that's stressed out. Okay, obviously you going with the flow of life, period, point blank. Okay, so separate yourself from people that are, that you feel are betraying you and talking about you and stuff like that, honey. Cut them out your life. Let's create space for it to happen sooner. Okay, and then we got the justice coming out. So obviously, you speaking your truth about your situation, is creating space in your life to whereas, honey, now you in a position to whereas you don't care about, some people talking about you and not showing you any type of love because you already know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know what your destiny consists of. And you already know where you come from, where your roots is at. You already done generated your wealth, okay? To whereas, honey, you ain't gotta keep, worried about other people's plans because their plans ain't got nothing to do with your destiny and your fate, okay? Now, what's the create space for it to happen sooner with the justice? Okay, so justice is, 4 swords in the reverse. Your truth is obviously, or you speaking your truth is obviously keeping people, feeling stuck and, trying to come towards you, just to, block you or just to say that you done blocked them or, not knowing that they was never showing love anyway. Okay, so that's why you created some space so that you can speak your truth and continue to, focus on your finances. You know what I'm saying? And be more, like in tune with yourself. Okay? What's this Ace of Cups? Reverse. Okay, so we got the Page of Cups in the reverse. So obviously people not showing you love is why you're able to show love and actually, use your intuition about, how to help people, get towards or, be more strategic with what they got going on in their life, far as helping them, get to where they need to be in their life. Okay. And it, sometimes it do require you to separate yourself from, certain people and places and things. But at the end of the day, continue to, take that leap of faith towards whatever it is that you want to do. Okay, period, point blank, because you got the strength. Okay, so continue to keep going. Okay, continue to keep going. Okay, so North Node in Aries, this was for you. If you like the message, thumbs it up, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, and your girl will be back with more videos for you guys. Okay, holla.